sprinters, you are getting sleepier and sleepier. Just keep your eyes focused on this object, and you'll just notice yourself relaxing. You're getting sleepier and sleepier. It's Janae here to brighten, lighten, and ignite your day. We're talking about the power of concentration. I used this in a public speaking class I did in college. I must have been talking about hypnosis or something, and I used this to be my attention getter for my speech, and I knew it would work out awesome because there was this boy in speech class who had no concentration skills. He always fell asleep. So at one point I said, "It works," and I pointed to him and everybody started laughing, and he woke up and he had no idea. So he was under the spell. We want to get under the concentration spell, but it's hard when we're so distracted. Okay, so we figured out strategies around distraction. Now, again, it's week 3. We're talking about the power of today, day 20 is concentration, and week 3 is power of attention. So we figured out what those distractors are. Now, how do we fully focus on what we do? And we have to realize that it's not that we always need to focus all the time. In fact, Michael Phelps, who's, as we all know, the all-time Olympian world record holder. And it was interesting, I was reading about him, and they said that in kindergarten, teachers thought he had attention deficit disorder because he just couldn't focus, right? But he figured out a ways to be able to so intensely focus on the one thing that mattered, is the pool, his swimming, his training regime. So we don't have to have focused concentration every moment of our day, which would be incredibly difficult. But we do need to have focused attention on the thing that matters most, your number one goal, and making sure that we are focusing or concentrating on the right thing. So in the book, Tapping the Source, I recommended this in the section on attraction, but they said, in here it says, if you wish to eliminate fear, concentrate on courage. If you wish to eliminate lack, concentrate on abundance. If you wish to eliminate disease, concentrate on health. So we might inadvertently be concentrating on the wrong thing instead of the right thing that you need to concentrate on. So make sure that you are concentrating on and pinpointing those things that really matter. And it's like an analogy of building a fortress around you and this number one goal. If you think of a big, amazing castle with this fortress around it, nothing can get in the way. It's meant to protect it, to protect what's valuable inside. Just like you, the work that we're doing is so valuable inside, and what you're doing makes a big difference. So our concentration level really matters, and we need to focus on that. So your one and done is to come up with, what is your fortress, a symbol for your fortress. For me, it's kind of like this magic box. My son made this little treasure box for me. He had a pirate party, and all the kids got to make their treasure box. And if you notice, the theme that I've been having throughout certain times is to have different symbols. Remember when we talked about for time is precious, different symbols. I'll probably have this ball sitting out here to remind me of my capacity and not get distracted. But in here in my fortress is this idea of the magic box. And inside can be the number one, what is the number one thing I need to do right now? So this is like a focusing question to keep that concentration in my fortress and my number one box. What is that number one thing that I need to do right now? So whenever I'm feeling, boxed in, and you want to be boxed in, you want to think outside the box too, right? But we want to protect our concentration is to do that. Because just like when you're playing the card game concentration, if you remember doing that, isn't it amazing how when we were younger, it was much easier to remember all the cards flipped down and which one matched? we need help now. It gets harder and harder as we get older to focus and concentrate on the things that matter. So your magic box is your one and done. Another great technique that comes from a book that Mark Victor Hansen wrote on focus. And he's like, it's not hocus pocus, it's all about focus. He talks this idea about the tournament draw. So any sports or any kind of a tournament you're involved in has who's gonna play who and what. So if you're having a hard time understanding what is that number one thing, because there's multiple things, then go ahead and compete them against each other. Write down all the things here and then said, okay, if these two had to compete each other, who's gonna be the winner? Great. If these two had to compete each other, who would be the winner? Then from there, you do the same thing from here, same thing here, all the way to here. So at this point, you know the number one thing right now, and then you work back. Your next number one thing, your next number one thing, your next. A great tool that you can use for two, good for you when you're getting stuck on what you can do. And then Jack Canfield has a great idea of concentration, is to think about what is your best results day. And sometimes we need to have preparation days, rest and relaxation days, but we need to have our best results day. So no, just like Michael Phelps, we can't have that focused concentration all the time, but what's our best results day? Similar to what I was talking about in the last one with your A work. That's our best result. So think about a time when you were highly on fire, fully focused. What did you do and how did that matter and how did that become your best result day? Lots of different tools to keep that power of concentration so that you too will be fully focused and knowing what matters. You are getting more focused and more intentional and more intentional. And you've got this. It's there for you. From my heart to yours, be love.